Good morning, angels. In this morning's episode, I want to talk to you about how sometimes you can struggle because you feel like you can't help those that you love the most. It's like you're on the outside looking in and you want to protect them, you want to support them, you want to love on them, you want to help them. You can see what's going on in this big picture perspective, but you feel like you're not getting through, or you feel like they're not listening to you, or you feel like you're just struggling to help the ones that you love the most. Yet in other areas of your life, you can be that supportive person, or you can give, or you can love, and you can help, and people appreciate that. Yet the ones that you love the most sometimes don't appreciate you the most. So I want to unpack that a little bit and give you some, some guidance or some perspective around it from a personal point of view, and something that I've been facing, but also some tools and some rituals, some helping with your beliefs, your mindset, to help you keep going on your path, to help you trust in yourself, to help you understand that we're all on our own soul journey. So let's dive in. Good morning, angels. I want to have a heart-to-heart chat with you guys this morning. Sometimes I have notes prepared around maybe a strategy or something that I want to kind of go through with you. And sometimes I just feel like I want to just speak from the heart, speak from how I'm feeling, speak from experience, and leave you a little bit of wisdom or teach from experience, but capture the moment of how I'm feeling right now, because I know that you will benefit from it. I know that it will just help you with a little bit of clarity, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of perspective, and maybe you might relate and you might be feeling the same way in your own unique way and in your own unique circumstances. And I was going to jump on today and talk to you about something completely different, but this sparked up in me in the last less than 24 hours, that I just felt a lot of emotion come up for me this morning, a lot of revelations or realizations come up for me this morning, that it just dawned on me at 4:30 watching the sunrise, tears streaming down my eyes. I'm like, I actually need to share on this today, because I know a lot of women will relate. And look, majority of my demographic, you're going to be women. You're going to be either mums or caregivers or partners, or you're in a role that you feel like you love so much on other people, you give so much to other people, you possibly doubt yourself, you question your worth, you question the journey that you're on, you're trying to discover more about yourself, you're juggling the self-discovery with the outside influence of people coming at you from different directions that might not see your same perspective, that you might feel a little bit different, that could show up in your workplace or your family members or your loved ones, your partner, your friends, and you're kind of juggling this, finding that identity within yourself, finding your own place in the world, finding your purpose, rediscovering who you are outside of your role as a mother or a wife or a partner or whatever identity, whatever roles you take on. You're kind of feeling this remembrance of who you are at a soul level, and you're dancing between getting this clarity or this understanding or this revelation around more about yourself, and then you're dancing with the external world of judgment, criticism, difference of opinions, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're not fitting in. So you kind of sometimes can feel a bit confused, or sometimes can question what you're doing. Sometimes the spiritual journey can feel too hard, and you feel like, oh my gosh, it's just easier to do what everybody else does, and it's just easier to fit in, and it's easier to conform, it's easier to be like everyone else. But you know deep down at a soul level, you're not here to be like everybody else. You know you want more out of life. You know you want to leave a legacy, or to make an impact, or to make an imprint. You know you want change in your life. And change and transformation and self-discovery can be a hard journey at times. And it can be a journey of, sometimes you feel like you've got it, or things are going well, and then sometimes you feel like you've been kicked in the guts, or sometimes you feel that, you've been hit with an obstacle, or you've been faced with a challenge that makes you question everything you've been doing around, is it worth it? Am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? I'm triggering people around me. I'm changing, I'm growing, they're not. It's easier just to stay the same. You can just feel like a bit of a mess sometimes, or feel like a bit of a ball of emotion, or feel like, what's going on? I'm so confused. And at the time of me recording, it's a full moon, the end of the year. So a lot of energy at the moment around endings. Full moons are all around like new cycles, kind of reflection, out with the old, in with the new, completing cycles, looking at what's not working. They're kind of the end of a cycle before you go into a new cycle. So we're constantly living in these life cycles, right? And at the end of the year right now, as I'm recording, it is like the end of, I spoke about on the last episode, the end of the year of the snake, the end of a lot of, a lot of closure for people, a lot of endings for people. And that might come voluntarily, where you have been working on yourself, or that might come through things that have happened that you haven't expected, that are kind of forcing closure, or forcing change of direction, or forcing a new path to unfold for you. And you're confused, and sometimes you might be thinking like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do wrong? Why does this have to happen? Instead of looking at it from an understanding of, life's not happening to you, it's happening for you, and things can unfold to course correct you, or it's like your soul knows where you need to be. And you can do it the easy way or the hard way, and we do both. I definitely fluctuate between both. Things sometimes unfold easy, and sometimes it feels like hard freaking work. And we all go through that in our own unique way, in our own unique circumstances or situations. And what has happened, what I've reflected on this morning, I'll give you a little bit of context around it, okay? So yesterday I had a chat with a client who, and I know you will be listening, and I just want to send you the biggest love, the biggest hugs. My heart goes out to you and your family. And I had an opportunity to have a chat with a client yesterday, a very hard conversation for both of us, but a very comforting conversation. Without going into too much personal detail, she lost a loved one unexpectedly in a tragic accident, and was really struggling, of course, as we all would. And it was just very raw. It had just happened. And she messaged me and kind of said, I haven't been in the studio. This is what's happened. Can I ask a favor? Is it okay if you pull some cards for me? And I did that, and I had a feeling, I just want to give her a call, and I just want to see if she's okay, and if she, but I'm also mindful of, respectful of crossing that boundary of, she might not want to talk to people, okay? And she might not be ready to talk to me, but that's okay. I'm just going to ring. I'm just going to follow my gut. My gut had been telling me all day, you need to call her. And so I went, I'm just going to call. If she wants to speak, that's no problem. If she doesn't want to speak, that's okay. However it's meant to be, it will be, okay? So I gave her a call. She answered. We had a beautiful conversation, and there was lots of tears, lots of emotion. And we got to the end of the call, and she kind of felt like she's like, I didn't want to burden you. I didn't want to contact you, but out of all the people, you kept popping up for me the last couple of days, and I was almost drifting off to sleep, having trouble sleeping, almost drifting off to sleep the previous night, and your face come through really clear. And I thought to myself, okay, this sign's been pushing me enough. I'm just going to reach out. And again, she just thought the same thing. If she can give me a message back, that's great. If not, I don't want to burden her. Okay. So we both kind of had this same feeling. And so I had a chat with her. At the end of the call, she was concerning that she didn't want to burden me. And she was saying how, in tears, how much I had helped her. And since coming into contact with me and coming into our community, coming into contact with the Earthy Angels community, she said, my whole life has changed for the better. People have said to me, you're a happier person, you've got more radiance, you're glowing, you're lighter. She said, my work's improved, my working situation's improved. She said, everything in my life has improved since I met you. I don't think you realize what a special lady you are and the impact that you have on people's lives. And the reason I'm telling you that is not to say go me, it's to, like, I was in tears again, not only from the emotion of the conversation, but I was in tears around how much I had, just by showing up and being myself and listening to my heart and following my guidance and just speaking my truth, living my truth in my work, I'd helped her. And I felt this overwhelming feeling of gratitude, humility, love. I was just crying the whole time. And I got off the phone and I just felt it really left a power. She doesn't realize how much she helped me, which I'll go into a little bit more now why as well. But she doesn't realize how much she helped me. As much as I helped her, she helped me. And I always believe in this mutual exchange of energy, this mutual interaction with people. And she was concerned about, I don't want to burden you, and I'm like, it's okay. I know how to protect myself. I know how, like, this is your journey. This is my journey. I can be there for you, but I'm not going to take it on. Obviously I have a heart and I felt all the emotion that she was going through. But that's okay. I needed to for certain reasons. And I'm also at the point of I'm working with my business coach and a beautiful dear client who's helping me through the next stage of my Earthy Angels brand, the next stage of bringing together, actually making happen all of these ideas of what I want to do, right? The impact I want to have, the legacy I want to leave, the people I want to help. But I know I've got so many ideas, but just putting it all together feels overwhelming. So I'm at the stage where I'm working with some beautiful people helping me go into this new year, right? Ending of the snake year, ending of a 9-year cycle, going into a new year. So all these things are kind of showing up, and I'm like, the divine timing of the way she made me feel with how I could support her. And what most importantly I took out of the chat with her yesterday, she's coming on my Bali retreat next year. And the moment I saw her message yesterday before we actually spoke, I thought to myself, this is why she needs to be in Bali. And it's not the initial reason she thought it was going to be. Obviously, none of us expected the turn of events that were going to take place within that 6-month period from when she booked until now. But that's why her soul knew she needed to be in Bali before her logical mind, or before she knew she needed to be in Bali, because there's going to be a lot of healing and a lot of growth, a lot of transformation. A lot is going to help her by her coming on this trip. And what she said to me in the conversation yesterday was, I now know why I need to be in Bali, and it's different. So she already had this realization, right? We spoke about a few signs that she'd seen within this whole situation, a few signs that had unfolded, the way she had, I guess, supported her family, the perspective that she has looked at, the knowing that she needed of the things that she needed to do to help herself in this situation. She's like, I need to get back to the studio. I need to get to my meditation. Some of these things I need to do. The cards that you pulled have helped me immensely. My son has actually pulled some cards around a few things, so I can see how it's impacting him. And the reason I tell you all this is a client who has eaten up everything that I teach, right? I'm just the messenger, I share, and then it's up to everybody else to take on board and to take the aligned action and to do, it's up to you to turn up to a class. It's up to you to put a podcast on. It's up to you to journal. Like, I can guide you these things, but she has, like many of you have taken the inspired aligned action to do the inner work that I've taught over the last couple of years. Come to class, sign up to a retreat, come to women's circles, do the work on herself. And I could see by the conversation I had with her yesterday that the impact I've had by me showing up and being myself on my podcast, in my studio, on my retreats, the courses that I'm developing, all the things I'm working on, how it's impacted somebody's life. She has then told me that, which has given me, I guess, the validation. Not that I needed it, but it's still the universe reflecting back to me. There's a need for what you're doing, Lisa, and it's helping people in a deeper way than you realize. Because I could see in this conversation we had yesterday, it's helped her with her family, it's helped her with her children, it's helped her, like she said at the end of the conversation, she said, I feel an inner peace and a calm. I'm so glad we chatted. I know what I kind of need to do. There's a lot of decisions that needs to be made, of course, when the time like this presents itself. But I said to her, I said, trust in yourself, because a lot of the things like I already felt, she's then reflected it back to me. Like I had this knowing, this is why she needs to be in Bali. She thought it as well. And she said, I now know why I need to be in Bali. Some of the signs that I could see that she had told me about, I confirmed to her what she already knew they were. And my point in telling you this is I can see by the work that I have done and by the passion that I'm living, that it's impacting people's lives. And I'm teaching the tools to people and they're listening, they're taking them on board. And I can see the growth and the transformation that she has had as a result of this. And I could give her some guidance, I'm psychic medium, you're psychic medium, we just have to open up to it, right? I could see some things coming through, some guidance that I gave her, which I know she will take on board and which I know is going to help her, because she's open, she's receiving, she's doing the inner work on herself, and she's learning. And the tools that she has learned is helping her through a difficult situation in her life, which we are all have been through, will go through, are going to endure. She's no different to any one of us. We just have different times of things that show up in our life, okay? So I got that instance where I felt so deeply fulfilled, and I felt so deeply just grateful that I could help support people, and grateful with I guess that my wisdom that I asked for to come through is leaving an impact on people's life. Then you have the other scale, right? Where you have people and you all help in your own way. This is just my example of what my job is or what my purpose is, right? But you've all got your own purpose or your own work. You know, maybe you're a nurse, maybe you're in the police force, maybe you're a mother, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're a creative, maybe you've got your own role, you know, your own purpose, your own mission, your own way where you impact people and you help people. Maybe you're a business coach or some kind of coach that helps inspire people's lives and sees the vision in them that they don't see in themselves. We've all got our own unique purpose, and if you'll figure it out. If you're not quite there yet, it's coming and you're figuring it out, and that's why you're connected with me on this podcast and in my world, right? And so we all have an area in our life where you may feel seen, you may feel heard, you may feel like you really make a difference in people's lives, or you help people, or people listen to you, or people take on board the things that you have to say. And then you might have areas in your life, and often it's with those that are closest to you, where they might not. It could be your kids, right? It could be a lover, it could be a partner, it could be a parent, it could be your best friend, it could be a sibling, it could be someone close to you that you love with all your heart and soul, who maybe doesn't take you seriously, or who maybe you're sharing similar advice and they're not listening, or they're not taking it on board, or they think you're a bit woo, or they think, like one of my clients said to me, my daughter thinks I'm a bit witchy. And I know I've had many people say that to me, and I've thought the same with my own kids. And so you can see how there's some people in your life who might not value you as much, and they're the ones that are closest to you. They're the ones that you love the most. They're the ones that you want to impact the most. And you think, oh my God, I've got people who are basically like strangers. I'm not saying you're strangers, but you are in comparison to maybe someone you've known your whole life, or maybe, like your partner or someone that you're really close. You've got people that, you might impact in the hospital that you work at, or in the teaching role that, are kind of like strangers to you, like you've definitely got a relationship with them. You've definitely impacted them, but they're not close to you. Then you've got the closest ones to you that feel like you're not being heard, you're not being seen, they're not taking you seriously, they're not listening to you, they think you're woo, they think you've changed, and they might feel stuck, or they might, give you a hard time, and you can have this internal battle with, this is so hard, or what's the point, where you feel like, it's like when you tell your kids something, you give them advice and it comes from a place of love, and they just don't receive it that way. They think you're trying to tell them what to do. They think like, what would you know? You're old, you're just mom, mom's stupid, or, you don't get it. And you can feel so defeated. And I've had a situation where with a loved one, where I can literally see, this is what happened to me this morning, right? I was sitting in my mindful practices this morning, it dawned on me, I was reflecting on the last 24 hours, it dawned on me the similarity between what this client has just been through and what somebody really dear to me has been through. There's a lot of similarities in their own unique way. I looked at the client's perspective on how she's done a lot of the inner work on herself, how she's, despite the circumstances, still very much as positive as she can be, seeing some of the silver linings as much as she possibly can, seeing the understanding at a soul level that we're all here on our own soul journey. What's happened to this person in her life, losing their life, is their journey. How she can help people around her, the family, the friends going through the grief, but is also understanding her own needs and what she needs in this time of grief and honoring that. And then I looked at my closest family, like one of my loved ones, and how they're probably going through similar situation but had a different outcome that wasn't as bad as what this client's is, and how they're maybe sitting in a bit of the poor me, I guess, or the victim mindset, or that things have just kept nudging and happening to them and they're not seeing the lesson, they're not growing. I can see the generational, it's like I get this kind of big bird's eye perspective, right? Like the crow, I love the crow, they look down. It's like I can see this bird's eye perspective and I can see, okay, this is generational patterns that are playing out that you might have, I've been telling you, but you're not listening. You're going to play out the same patterns, what has happened in previous generations if you don't make change, but you're not making change, but you're getting angry at me and you're maybe reacting at me because I'm the closest one to you. You're feeling like I don't get it or I don't care. I do. I'm trying to give you some guidance. I'm trying to see it from a different perspective. I'm trying to help you through that. But you're not seeing the picture because you're not doing any of the inner work on yourself, or you're not prepared to look at, you're stuck in the why is this happening to me? Even though you did nothing wrong, why is this happening to me instead of why is this happening for me? How am I going to learn from this moving forward? And I feel with this particular family member that everything's going to be okay. And yes, I acknowledge the struggle that they're going through at the moment, but I've pulled a few cards around this situation, just like I did for my client. I pulled a few cards around the situation on 3 particular days. It's like I pulled 2 cards every day, and at different decks, some of them, they fell out on my lap, so I rolled with it. And the cards that I pulled were around, the first card was around either an ending, the phoenix, right, the rise of the phoenix, or rebirth and closure. The second card on each particular day I pulled was either victory or celebration. So how I interpret that was, yeah, you're going through a shit time right now. Like, my heart goes out to you, sending love, compassion, understanding. I'm fast forwarding through this, you guys, like obviously there's a lot more depth, but I can see that this is a pretty bad situation, but I can see that this is transforming you on a soul level. I can see that you maybe haven't got a few of the lessons. So this is kind of like, when they say the universe maybe hits you with a pebble, then you don't get it. Then they hit you with a rock and you don't get it. And then, a boulder gets thrown at you and you kind of don't get it. Or maybe you do, maybe that's the final straw and you do. So I can see that play out. I can see generational patterns play out. I can see in the cards that I pulled, I can see in my gut feeling that yes, you're going through a transformation. Yes, you're going through an ending. Yes, this is a shitty time, but there's celebration, there's victory, there's light at the end of the tunnel if you would see that. But it's so hard sometimes because people just stay in the negativity of the situation, or all the bad things that are going to come out of the situation, and what could possibly go wrong and how it could go in a way that's not in their favor. And I'm saying, yes, but what if it goes the other way? There's certain things you can't control, but all you can control is your energy, the actions that you take, the mindset. How can you help your mindset? How can you got to feel the emotion, right? Like, I'm not discounting that. You got to feel pissed off. You got to cry. You got to feel angry. You've got to feel the emotion. That is part of the process. So I'm not discounting that at all. You've got to go through, like Esther Hicks talks about with this vibrational scale, the bottom of the scale, the despair, the defeat, the anger, and then you slowly move up the scale, and it might go like from anger and resentment up to blame, up to an understanding, up to like a little bit more clarity, still discomfort, but you kind of get a better feeling thought and a better feeling thought and a better feeling thought, or you stay in the despair and you stay there, and what's going to happen? Nothing's going to change. Like, you've got two ways. You can do something to help yourself, or you can stay stuck in the despair, stay stuck there. And that is up to you. You cannot control how people react in situations. You can love on them, you can support them, you can give them guidance, you can be there for them, you can talk to them. But at the end of the day, we're on our own soul journey. There's just a beautiful big boat going past right now, and you probably hear the waves in the background. That's okay. But understanding that we are here on our own soul journey, and we can't help everybody, we can't fix everybody. That this is the hardest thing, right? I had the client that I was talking about said, it's like eating up my cards and seeing them for what they are. And then, like, your person closest to you is going, what are your fucking cards going to do? Like, there's part of it, I know that they're sinking in, and I know that they learn from me. I know that they understand, but they're just so angry at the moment to go, like, what are these stupid cards going to do for me? And I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. I know in my heart that this is going to be okay, and I'm going to hold the faith, and I'm going to hold as much faith as I can for you, and I am going to love on you. I'm going to support you. But it's so hard because sometimes you feel like you love them the most and they push you away and they hurt you the most, right? And they don't do it intentionally. They do it out of their own feelings and their own justification, their own dealing with the situation, because you're the closest one to them, or one of the closest ones to them, that they can actually just say how they feel. And sometimes they don't want your help. And it is a really hard place to be in, girls, whether it's, for your kids or for your partner or for a parent or for a best friend. Like, it is so freaking hard. And I had one of those moments. I was sitting out on my deck this morning, looking at a bird's eye view of both of these situations, feeling this light of the world, how I'm helping people, but feeling like this despair, or feeling like not being able to help somebody that you care about the most, and just sitting there crying my eyes out, tears running down my face, feeling just so defeated, feeling that why can't I help them? Feeling why don't they get it? Feeling like from a bird's eye perspective, you can see a train wreck unfolding, you can see things happening, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And that is sometimes, as hard as it sounds, like, that's probably part of our journey and what we need to learn and what we need to understand. Letting go of attachment to situation, letting go of, you can love people, you can be there for people, you can help them, but understanding that we're all on our own soul journey. And what I see people get stuck with is sometimes it can defeat you, that you then go and have a pity party with them. Or sometimes it can defeat you when you feel like it's just easier to just conform. It's just easier to be like everybody else. And you can go from lightness to darkness. You can go from feeling good to feeling defeated. You can hover between this kind of, it's like a balance of the scales where you go each way, right? Where you can feel like you're doing the right thing. Then you can feel like, why can't I even help those closest to me? And why I just want to help them so much, but they just won't listen. Sometimes they're not going to listen to you, right? As much as we love them, as much as we care for them, as much as we want to help them, I guess what I'm saying is, don't let it change you. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it dim your light. Don't let it feel like you have to change who you are. And so what I sat with this morning is, I felt the emotion. I felt upset, I felt angry, I felt pissed off, I felt at the same time, amazing that I could help my client, but why can't my family members get it? And I was just sitting with all this conflicting energy, and I just sat there and I cried and cried and cried and felt a bit useless, felt a bit, all of those emotions that you're gonna feel, right? And then I went, okay, I pulled out my sage. I just felt I needed to just pull a couple of cards. I pulled out my sage and I put on a playlist. These songs are, one of my beautiful clients sent me this song, Morning Queen Energy, and I love it. So another client sent me another song about Rise and Believe, all within a week of each other. And I thought, I'm going to make up a playlist of all of these songs and I'm going to call it Raise Your Vibration. And all these songs that really get me going, that really shift my energy, that really help me pivot, that help me feel good, or that help me sit with my purpose. They rise me up. They just make me feel a little bit happier. They make me feel a bit calmer. And these songs have beautiful words, the most beautiful, beautiful words. So I'll share this playlist with you in the show notes. And I put on this playlist, and one of them was about, it was about your energy, about your vibration. And I'm using my sage, and I'm just using the sage to just help calm me. I'm breathing in this fragrance, this smoke, and I'm just visualizing as the sage is kind of waving over me. Just help calm me, take away some of the pain, take away some of the confusion, release this emotion, let the emotion pour through me. I'm sending love to everybody involved. I'm sending love to my client. I'm sending love to my family member. I'm sending, I ask for them to all have the guidance that they need. I'm asking for them to receive the support that they need, but I'm also letting go of attachment. As much as I love you all in your own unique, different ways, I'm letting go of the attachment to, I can't fix everybody. I can't heal everybody. I am going to stay true to myself. These music, the words in these songs are uplifting me. They're all talking about rising, about believing, about energy, about vibration, about making an impact in the world, about becoming her, all these amazing words. And I'm like, as this is all happening, so I've got maybe a few different steps in here. It's all happening at once. So the step of feeling the emotion, the step of saging, the step of the music, the step of, sending love to the people, the step of holding the vision. So I'm also starting to hold the vision as this is happening. I'm feeling the emotion, sending love, releasing, letting go, but then I start to pivot. The music helps me pivot. The music helps me shift my state to go, I know my purpose. I know what I'm meant to be doing. I let go of people. I still love you. It doesn't mean you're cutting ties with them and you're, fucking them off out of your life. It does not mean like that. It can simply mean that I'm letting go of the attachment to the outcome. I'm understanding, I'm trusting that you're here on your soul journey. You need to go through the motions as much as I need to go through the motions on my soul journey. And that can be for your kids. And it's so hard as a parent to go, I just have to trust in you're here for your soul purpose, your soul mission. And there's certain things that you need to experience that I don't understand, but I'm here for you. So I'm letting go of the outcome, and I'm just having the understanding that as much as I'm here to go through life lessons and experiences, so are my children, so are my partners, so are my friends, so are my clients, so are my parents, so are my siblings, so are the people in my life. We all have things that we need to experience. And I'm just understanding and trusting that whatever unfolds for all of us is what we're meant to embody. And I'm starting to then feel as I'm doing the sage, I'm listening to the music, I'm feeling the emotion, I start to feel a new wave of emotion come through because this music's uplifting me, this music's getting me back connected to my purpose. I'm starting to feel my vision. I'm starting to feel how I'm having an impact in the world. I'm starting to feel inspiration come through for a podcast. I'm starting to feel more of a peace. It's not even a happiness, just more of a peace or a contentment. So I'm moving up that vibrational scale from feeling angry, pissed off, upset to go, okay, I'm just feeling a bit neutral right now, okay? Not joy, not, there's an eagle flying overhead at the same time as I'm telling you this. And I'm feeling this, I'm not feeling elated, I'm not feeling completely amazing yet, but I'm feeling a bit better. I'm feeling a bit more neutral. I'm feeling a little bit more calm. I'm feeling a little bit more peaceful. I'm feeling that I'm understanding why things are happening for certain people. I'm feeling that by this lesson, it's going to help people when I share it on my podcast. I'm feeling that these people in my life, because what I did 5 minutes before I did the saging, I sent a voice message to two amazing souls that are in my life, my business coach and another amazing soul that's in my life, that we've got this support group. We're helping each other on our own vision, and we're helping each other in work, in business, in spirituality. And so I sent a bit of a voice message, a bit emotional to them. 5 minutes earlier. At the time I was sending that, my bluebird, my kingfisher bird, my sign from my Ulpa was down on the jetties going off, an eagle was circling overhead, and the sun was rising. So I'm noticing the signs around me, the synchronicities around me as I'm sending this voice message is giving me confirmation. And then I see these people around me that I'm talking to, that I've surrounded myself with through friends, through coaches, through the community, are just a blessing to help you, I guess, to help inspire one another, to help motivate one another, to help keep you on the path that is uplifting, keep you on the path that you're meant to be on, because it's so easy to get stuck in negativity. It's so easy to get stuck in people that maybe don't get you or that you don't feel that you're aligned with. So I'm surrounding myself with good people. So I'd had a chat with, I'd sent them a quick voice message, and then like I'm holding the vision. As I'm saging, I'm listening to the music, I start thinking about what I want for this next cycle of my business, for this next evolution of me, for what I'm meant to be doing, for how I can help more people, for the excitement of what's coming, and how these are all experiences that are helping me become the woman that I need to become, and help me to stay true to myself no matter how hard it is. And this is the message, girls, no matter how hard it is, stay true to yourself. Trust in yourself. Just keep going, because life is going to present you with people that, and it can be those that you love the most, that are going to test you, that are going to, not that they do it intentionally, are going to make you feel like you question yourself, are going to make you feel like, especially it's hard. Like, you know, I have girls come to me all the time saying, you know, like, oh, my kids, I can't talk about this. My kids think I'm a bit weird or a bit woo or a bit witchy, or my partner doesn't get it. Like my partner's like, oh, you keep going back to that place again. And I said, because people get to a different vibration, and you can be in a complete different vibration with your loved ones, okay, with your best friends, with people around you. And when you start to rise up in your vibration, you notice the difference, okay? You notice the energetic difference, the vibrational difference between you. They feel it too, as much as you do. So sometimes it might feel like they attack you, or they put you down, or they criticize you, and they don't do it intentionally. It's there, and emotionally, energetically, spiritually, they're feeling the bit of a disconnect, and it can come out through anger. It can come out through blame. It can come out of fear of, don't leave me, don't outgrow me. But they don't know how to communicate that, and they put this pressure on you. They put this maybe a negativity kind of attitude towards you. Maybe they blame you, maybe they get angry at you, maybe you feel like they hold you back. No matter what happens, understand we're all on our own soul journey. The best thing that you can do is stay true to yourself, is to keep going, is to keep showing up as who you are. Keep doing the inner work on yourself. Keep focusing on healing. And healing just doesn't mean a big trauma. Healing can be healing your mindset, healing your past self-beliefs, healing your value in yourself, healing who you are as a person, getting more connected to yourself. It's all growth, right? It's all growth, transformation, healing, nourishing, self-love, self-worth. This is what all comes under the banner, as far as I'm concerned, around healing and growth and development. Always stay on a journey of growth, and it's going to trigger people around you. It's going to rattle people's cages around you. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that deter you. Keep going and keep being yourself. Their story is not your story. As much as you love them, as much as you want to help them, we all have our own different experiences, our own different stories. And the more you grow and the more you develop, the more you work on yourself, the more you stay true to yourself, ultimately you are going to impact people around you. They might not just be ready yet, but there will come a time where they will. It will come a time that you will inspire them. There will come a time where they will come to you. And just by you being you, you're going to help people around you. So don't lose the essence of who you are with what is going on around you, or how you're being made to feel in certain situations. Just send people love. So that's what I did this morning. I felt the emotion. I used the sage to help shift my state, to help me release. I put on the music. I sent them love. I connected with people in my circle, and I held the vision of what I know I'm here to do. And I just thanked, I just sat in gratitude. And as my bluebird was chirping and the eagle was flying overhead, I'm like, thank you, universe, for giving me these signs. I'm on the right track. What happened a few minutes ago, you may or may not notice, it doesn't matter. My phone died again because I'm down on my jetty and it said temperature too hot. And I stopped it. I had to race up, put it in the freezer, and then come back down. And when I looked at the last video, it said 33 minutes, 30, 333. Another sign. I'm like, thank you. What I'm sharing is part of what I'm meant to do, and the right people will listen to it. So stay true to yourself and trust yourself, because people around you, what if they just haven't caught up yet? Like, don't stop being who you are. Don't let them bring you down. Don't let them change you, because that's up to you. People are going to, react certain ways. People are going to show up in certain ways. That's life. You are confronted with energies around you all the time. All you can control is how you show up, how you react, and how you change your state, and what you do to move forward. That's all you can be responsible for: your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions, and the way that you treat yourself and the way that you show up in the world. Excuse me, that is all that you can be responsible for. So they might not have just caught up just yet. Keep going, keep staying true to yourself. And then I pulled some cards, okay? And I want to share a couple of these with you because I know they're going to help. The first card that I pulled, I remember it was number 55, Whispers of the Universe. I've got this Golden Age deck by Izzy Ivy. And again, I just have a vision in my head: get your Izzy Ivy deck. I go get that. A little voice just kicks in and says, just pull 3 cards. Shuffle, split the deck 3 times. I split it 3 times and I pull each card, the 3 cards that are on top, right? The first one says Whispers of the Universe, 6 of activations. There's a dawning awareness that it is time for further soul expansion. Release the old to make way for the new. This card speaks of spiritual transition, and this is what I feel like I'm going through and many of you are going through at the ending of 2025. This card speaks of a spiritual transition, an initiation, letting go of the familiar and inviting in the unknown. You feel your spirit calling you to the next phase of evolution. And it's like the last episode I spoke about. You can sit in the in-between, right, of what's been and where you're going. You feel this calling into the next phase of your evolution. I'll continue. It's time now to be open to change. Feelings of sadness may present themselves with this change, but know wholeheartedly it's appropriate right now. Your inner eyes, like your soul, sees the path from a greater perspective of how this unfolds. You're transitioning to an upgraded frequency of being, so anything outdated or at a lower vibration may present itself right now. And that's what's happened. Like, this difference of vibration has shown up in my life. And then I'll continue. It says, this allows you to see it for what it is and free it from your field with love and grace. So you have to let go with love and grace and go, I can see the difference in vibration. I understand that. I accept that. I choose to let it go with, and I send them love. I'll be there for you. I will send you love. I will send you grace. And then it says, it may be time to reevaluate your beliefs, your values, your priorities. These may have shifted in alignment with your recent growth. Acknowledge what is serving you or not, and what you will bring with you moving forward. So in this particular situation, and this might show up for you too, like, I look up to this person, I look up to them, and sometimes it can help you find your own power, where it can be somebody that you love, you admire, you respect, is rattling your cage, is doubting on you or questioning you. You can shrink because you have so much, respect or admiration, or you see so much in them that it can make you question yourself. And it may be a time to reevaluate your beliefs. Have the belief that you are worthy, you are on the right track. Just keep going, okay? The card also invites you to take a good hard look at anything that might be holding you back. What can you transform? What can you let go of? What do you need to accept? What can stay? Where can you cultivate a change in perception? Sometimes, listen to this, you guys, sometimes it's hard for us to change when loved ones are used to seeing us a certain way. And that's the essence of this episode. It's so hard to change because you feel like you want to change, or you feel like you're on the path of growth. But people see you, they see that you've grown, and they can unintentionally bring you down, or you can have conflict with them, whether it shows up in fights, it shows up in a bit of a disconnect, it shows up in a little bit of a separation for a period. It is hard for you to change and move forward when you feel that loved ones are used to seeing you a certain way. It's okay to change. It's okay to grow. I mean, Tony Robbins talks about it all the time. We're here on this life path to grow, and change is okay, and change is part of the process. This card says perhaps we need to take time out from particular energies if we can. Once you see your transformational path ahead, you must decide what to do with that information if you feel the relationship needs to end. In this situation, it doesn't. There's just a difference, right? That can be hard, and it doesn't mean the connection will be lost. Perhaps the lesson is about creating a fresh new relational space with that special someone. Even better if you can grow together. So maybe you need to just step back from the situation. Maybe you need a little bit of time away from this person or, you know, your family. Maybe you need to just kind of step away go and do something that you need that lights your soul up. Have a day away by yourself. Go to bed early and be by yourself. You know, just find a little bit of quiet time by yourself, whether it's a day, a half day, a weekend, an evening. Just get a little bit of time away by yourself to get back connected to who you are and what you want. The next card that I pulled is all around the sun energy. Everything is fine, and it just goes on to kind of talk about this card represents vitality, success, abundance. It radiates joyful luminescence. The divine is expressing itself through you and your overflowing gifts. My client said to me yesterday, she goes, "You've got a gift." And I don't say that lightly. And what this card did was give me validation of just stay. The divine is expressing itself through your gifts. I have a gift to speak, like I sometimes too much, but I have a gift to see things differently and to speak and to share it. And it's taken me a while to get to that place through years of confidence building, through years of finding my worth. It's been freaking hard, but now I'm owning that and I'm knowing that's part of my purpose. And that can be that conflict, right? Where you can see where you're going, but you feel torn with what's been. Just keep going. These cards or these rituals that I teach you are going to help you, give you messages to keep you hold the faith, to keep you holding the faith, and to keep you believing in yourself, to seeing a different perspective. That's where books, podcasts, cards, they just help you get more. They change your mind, they change your belief, they change the way you look at yourself, they inspire you, they motivate you, they just reassuring you what you may, you know, you fluctuate between, I know where I'm going, oh no, it's too hard. We have these ebbs and flows, and when you get connected to spiritual practices and tools, this course, I know I talk about it, it is coming. I had to change platforms, it is coming. This is gonna be like the biggest gift that is gonna help you on your path. They're gonna teach you so much. This is going to help you keep going, right, when there's challenges around you. And this whole card talks about your life's purpose and just continue with your life's purpose. The last card that I pulled was about it's time for an inner reflection. Allow yourself to feel the depths of your emotions while staying connected with your higher awareness. The card indicates that you may have experienced a loss or emotional pain that it's time for you to be present with. That's what I felt this morning, right? Expressing your sadness, which I did, is part of the process of releasing it. Holding it can manifest as physical ailments. At the same time, it's important not to be wholly immersed in it and to have a way of regaining your vibration, like a helium balloon to lift you up again. All those little rituals that I told you about, it sounds like a lot, but it seriously took 10 minutes. It helps boost your spirit and move your energy, like dance, yoga, seeing friends after deep processing. So when I was listening to the music, I was just moving with the sage. I was just letting this energy, I was like dancing, feeling this energy move through my body. It's essential to go deep. The key is getting back up. This card is to remind you to focus on the path ahead, that feelings are short-term in nature and will fade. Remember what you are here for. Understand challenges help us grow and evolve. Learn from your mistakes. Do not let them make you hard or cynical, because people can harden you, right? So stay true to your heart. Compost them for growth, greater compassion, and the full spectrum of the human experience. While you need to examine your stuff, sometimes the root of a painful experience comes from the distortions or projections of another. What this whole episode is about, right? How other people, you know, anyway, you've already got the point of the episode. It says you do not need to accept that person's idea or truth around the situation. They may be acting out of their fears, their insecurities, their triggers, and there may also be some truth to what they are saying, or perhaps a bit of both. The key is to get yourself in a place of higher awareness, from where you can see the forest from the trees, and it prevents you from being overwhelmed by your triggers and making the situation more painful than it needs to be. So can you see how these cards have given me a little bit of clarification, or a little bit of insight, or a little bit of understanding around the situation that I have spoken about on this podcast? And then the last card I pulled in another deck. Sometimes I might just do one card. I just go with what rolls, with what comes up. I just had a need to pull these two decks. The last card is trust yourself. And I'm not going to read it all, but it's basically saying you know how to grow even without knowing how to grow. And I want to leave that with you, because this message, this oracle, this podcast is all around trust that you are growing. Trust in yourself. Don't doubt it. Even if people around you stimulate and they don't make you feel a certain way, you feel a certain way based on experiences or interactions. Allow yourself to feel it, but hold the faith in yourself and just trust in yourself and just know that do the inner work forever. Girls, like, keep showing up for you no matter how hard loved ones may make it around you. Hold the faith that by you turning up, by you growing, by you showing up, by you doing the inner work, it's not only healing you, it is healing them. It is going to impact other people. It is going to leave a bit of a legacy. It is going to, even if they don't get it yet, hold the faith. Don't lose yourself in the process. There's all traffic going on behind me now, amongst the chaos, amongst the traffic, amongst the noise, amongst the busyness. Stay true to you. Stay true to trusting in yourself. Hold the faith that what you are doing is going to serve people around you. And that is all you can do, my friends. And know that as much as you want to help your loved ones, the biggest thing you can do and the biggest blessing you can give them is by being true to yourself, is by continually showing up for you in the easy times, in the hard times, because the spiritual work can be hard. The spiritual inner work can be confronting, it can be challenging, it can trigger you, it can make you feel emotional. But this is part of the journey, right? This is part of the growth, and this is what is going to make you have so much more faith and trust and belief in yourself along the way, and gain so much more clarity and wisdom in who you are. Because girls, let's face it, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But the results that you want are going to be different to mainstream. So know that whatever you're doing is helping you get the results that you want, is helping you grow in strength, is helping you grow in faith, is helping you grow in your self-worth, in your self-love, in your self-acceptance, in knowing who you are, what you want. It's just up to you to hold on to the reins sometimes of dear life when the boat's being rocked a bit, or when times are a bit tough and times are a bit challenging. Don't lose sight of who you are and just keep going. Even when the ones around you can make it the hardest for you, they don't do it with intention or malicious intent. Send them love. That's the best thing you can do. Send them love, send you love, and just keep going, angels. I hope that helps. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Know that amazing transitions are coming for you. As we go into this new year, or whenever you listen to this episode is the right time, know that amazing things are coming for you. Hold the faith in your journey, hold the faith in yourself. And I just want to send you so much light and love and an abundance of health, wealth, love, happiness, and growth in your life moving forward, angels. Have a beautiful day. Bye.